Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode we finished it by visiting some pirates up to the north, and we ended up getting an orb, the first of our 6 orbs that we need to find. The pirates told us to head to the south here to visit this island. So that's what we're going to be doing here. The world is round and revolves in space. Because no one would believe me in this, I was exiled to this island. Nevertheless, the world is turning. That's supposed to be a telescope, and that's like kind of a nod to Galileo, who was imprisoned by the church because of his views that the sun was the center of the solar system and not the earth. I am a prophet. I have foreseen thy coming. The castle of the Archfiend is deep in the mountain of the Necrogond. Before long, thou wilt heave the sword of Gaia into a volcano's crater, and thy own path shall unfold before thee. We were told about there's a volcano. If we went around the Cape of Tendaki there, we'll do some examining that a little bit later. Legend had that the sword of Gaia was possessed by a man named Simon. Okay, so we gotta find a guy named Simon. That's it for this small little island. It is very close to our home island of Liahan, over to the left and north a little bit. So, yeah, the Galileo was he was heliocentric, basically saying that the sun was the center. Here we are, back in the Liahan. We're gonna heal up here, free of our mom, drop some stuff off at the vault. Still want to save our things. The interesting thing about that guy saying that the world is round. I mean that's true in in the real world, but in this world, this Dragon Quest world, because there's no universal North Pole or South Pole. Because if you go north, you just wrap around. This world will actually be a donut, a donut shape. So, where if it was a true sphere, then eventually you can only every point if you were anywhere on the globe and headed north, you eventually hit like a common point like the North Pole. But it's not the way it is in this thing. Well, same thing with the South Pole. So. Just wraps around. So let's drop off some of the seeds that we picked up. We're gonna keep the orb because in a few episodes we'll be getting rid of the orb. We're gonna find out a little bit later what we're going to have to do with those orbs. So right now we just know we have to collect them. We don't know what we have to collect, what we have to do with them once we collect them, but we will learn. So, before we visited the pirates, we were exploring to the north of the pirates are basically in South America. Up to the north was basically a man trying to build a new colony. And he said he needed a merchant. So we're going to drop Tennyson off here real quick, and then we're going to grab a merchant. The merchant that we created back at the beginning of the game. Merchant. His sprite is different than Sadie's merchant sprite was. And the quickest way to get to that place is to warp to Eganbear, and then just head to the west, and we'll loop around and end up on the east side of the map to the New World. Put the merchant in the back row, the last slot, because like I said, he only has 1% chance to get hit. So I didn't feel bad about like stealing his equipment at the beginning of the game and selling it for money, because. All the equipment that he has is when he leaves the party here, he's just going to send it back to the vault anyway, so he would have got access to it anyway. But at this point in time, that equipment he has was basically, basically worthless, so. I think I'll build a town here. Once the town is built, it will be a good thing for everyone. I'll need some merchants. What do you say, merchant? Will you accept the job? We say no, he says, I see, that's too bad. And we actually have 2 options to, accept. So you can say no, or the second time, both times he says, whether you decline the first time or the second time, he basically says, hey, That's too bad. So eventually we just have to give him this merchant, and this is going to be important for finding one of the future orbs. So, like I said, he sends all the stuff to the vault. Thanks so many favors. Goodbye, Prince Ernie. I'll never forget your travels together. We didn't have much travels together, but in that short amount of time that we were with him, he actually gained 4 levels. From one battle. So, and the guy gave us one final hint. He said, "Hey, in the middle of the continent is the Sioux, and you should check around their well." So we heard about the Sioux in another town, but now we actually know exactly where they are in the New World. So, in order to get to the center of the map, which is basically like North America, we're gonna have to head to the south, and then head up a big river in the middle, kind of like the Mississippi River. So, yeah, just picture, the real world when you're playing this game. So, I basically head south down around Florida, and then head up to the Gulf of Mexico, and then head up the mighty Mississippi. And that'll take us to where the Sioux village is. Once we get there, of course, we're going to search the well and get a pretty good item. So, got these new bighorn enemies here. They can put you to sleep with their breath attack. And they're hurting pretty bad. They're beating up Sadie pretty bad there. Well, she couldn't do the parry trick because of she was asleep, so her turn just gets skipped. We're gonna have to buy some better equipment. I would assume Prince Ernie, actually Prince Ernie, Sadie, and Indy can all get a new sword, but it's gonna cost a lot of money. We'll only end up buying 2 of them. Hey there, Prince Ernie, it's me, Merchant. I've changed, huh? I'm building a new shop here. As you do different things in the game, the town will change. So I'll be visiting the town every so often once I complete one of those steps, just to see how this town changes. So let's head back to Leanne here, and we'll pick up Tennyson, get our party back together, get the whole gang back. Now the merchant's going to be at that place like forever. I heard in the remake that you could actually recruit him back after a certain amount of time. So if you really like a merchant, well, you can always class change to a merchant, but they also added a few other things in the remakes, like these boards that you can roll the dice to move your character on, kind of like Monopoly, but you land on different squares, and some could be monsters, some could be treasure, some could be like things to increase your stats. So, and then they also added like a mini medal collection. We'll see mini medals starting to be a thing in Dragon Quest IV, which I'll be playing after this. There's usually, like, when you look around in places, you just search the ground or search chests and drawers really, to find things. So, some of them are pretty well hidden. Most of the time you just kind of look for stuff that's like out of the ordinary. Like you might see like a lone spot of grass in a field of flowers. You might see one cracked tile on a road. So here we are, heading around Florida here and heading up into Mississippi. We want to stay to the left here, because if we head to the north, we'll run into a few different bridges, and once you step on the bridge, we get off our ship, and we're going to take the water all the way up to the village. So we find some new enemies, because there's a new type of enemy domain here in the river. So we get to see some new enemies like the Krabus over there. Crabs have really large defense, like the other ones that we've encountered. So probably use some spells on them, and let's take out the other guys first, so we can concentrate our power. Concentrate the firepower on the Superstar Destroyer. Staff of Judgment still coming in handy for multiple enemies. Rather than just, they probably would do less than 27 damage just hitting them straight. So there's the Kravis information there. He has that 25% chance to hit a brutal hit. And not even Prince Ernie's doing much damage to him. So then I'll change eventually because we're eventually gonna get back to Tindaki, and we're going to we're gonna equip Prince Ernie with that zombie Slayer sword. That is actually the strongest sword that pilgrims and sages can wield. I'll probably end up just buying 2 of them, one for Prince Ernie, one for either Sadie or Indy, because we're going to get another sword that only has 2 less attack power than the Zombie Slayer, and we're going to get it for free. And also has a special property that it can cast the defense spell, which lowers enemy defenses. So mainly we're going to use it because it's free. So Zombie Slayer of course costs 9,800. So being able to save that money is nice. Especially because eventually, not too long from now, Tennyson will be class changing. The new enemy here, the Stingwings. At level 21 is the first level that Tennyson could potentially learn the By-Kill spell. So once she learns that, we will class change her into a soldier. By-Kill, like I said, doubles your attack power for the round. So at in the end game, we will have both Indy and Tennyson will have the By-Kill spell, because Indy will get it naturally as a sage. So then Tennyson can buff herself, and then Indy can buff Prince Ernie. And then if things are really looking bad and we need extra offense, Indy could potentially By-Kill herself or Sadie. Because with that, by that point in time, they'll both be wielding the same weapon. And here we are in the village of Sioux. We got there at night, so that's nice. Stay at the inn and go back to the morning, so we don't have to do any wandering around or use the lamp of darkness. So we'll talk about all the people there at night first, and then we'll stay at the inn. So we wanted to search around the well, like that man at the village told us, and we get the Staff of Thunder, which is an item. It's like the Staff of Judgment. You can use it in battle, and instead of casting the Inferno spell, it actually casts the Firebane spell. So it's much stronger than that Staff of Judgment. Horse of Horse, of course, but he doesn't talk. The talking horse is somewhere else, so that's a throwback to Mr. Ed, the talking horse, who we're about to talk to right here. I am Ed, the talking horse. If you find the Vase of Drought, use it in the shoals of the Western Ocean. Okay, so now we know actually where we have to use that Vase of Drought. Over to the ocean, in the ocean to the west, so basically the Pacific, so we'll explore the Pacific a little bit later. There's an island covered in ice called Greenland in the North Sea. A strange wizard lives there. Basically, Greenland. It's funny, is there a town directly east of here in a small field by a shore? And long ago, people went to this place, wanted to build a village there. And if we tell him that no, he tells us about the people. If we say yes, he's like, oh, that's great, so... All the people ain't there, it's just the one guy, so... That town is supposed to, mimic, I believe, Jamestown, the first settlement in America. We not tell lies. They say the echoing flute is in a tower somewhere. That tower's on the... Here's my horse, you like my horse? That tower is basically in, California area. So we will try to find that tower eventually when we start heading over to the, exploring the western side of the continent. We pretty much explored most of the eastern side I say most of it because when we first got into South America, La Costa was surrounded by mountains. So there's a kingdom in there, but we can't reach it except with travel doors. And a lot of the travel doors that we noticed have all been behind final key doors. So we're going to have to use this vase now. It seems the game is pointing us to use the vase to get the final key. The vase of John originally came from this village. However, someone who came many moons ago from far away took it. So nothing really good weapon-wise here. So buy more poison needles. The one enemy in the cave where Kano, we fought Kano too. The executioners, they could have dropped a poison needle. So, oh yeah, saying about the Greenland thing, or the Green Lad in this one. The Vikings discovered Greenland and Iceland, but they named Iceland Iceland even though it has green on it, and they named Greenland Greenland even though there's ice on it. So basically to confuse people. So people were like, oh, should we settle in Greenland or we should settle in Iceland? Well, Greenland sounds a whole lot more hospitable. So, but then if you, in reality, if you went to Greenland, it's cold and icy. So it's much severe conditions in Iceland. So we'll of course experience both of them here in this little playthrough. Let's head to Romilly here, because like I said, we want to head to Tendaki to get that upgraded sword then for Prince Ernie. And we're also going to eventually come back there. So, because we still have, once we get the final key, because we have business there, we still have to, that prisoner, while he was still alive, wants to give somebody an orb. So last time it looks like we're going to get our second orb there. We'll be able to get that once we get the final key, and now we know exactly where to get the final key. Somewhere in the Western Ocean. So take care, we'll go exploring there next episode. Bye!